Hi everyone. Today I wanted to show you a new AI assistant, AI agent that I'm building. It's called Brute. And for Brute we have Caesar, which is like a web app. So Brute is, let me close this part. Brute is a CLI agent. So basically you can say hello and you should get some feedback, right? It has typical commands you could have, like you can start a new session, you can list sessions, you can have projects, you can switch providers and models, and you can see some logs. I won't bore you with all like overviewing everything. It's pretty simple to check it out. You just have a session name here on top. You have a model that's currently selected, and then like how many context you have sent, and how much memory your process is consuming. And you can see it's very, very lightweight. If I compare it to other agents, this is very efficient. You could run it like on, I don't know, maybe Raspberry Pi or something. Anyway, this is a TUI, so a terminal interface, and it also exposes HTTP, which brings us to web app. It's called Caesar, and yeah, this allows you to configure more advanced functionality than just you can get in terminal. So let's go to settings. This part is important, that you can have multiple Brute agents running on different machines. So here I have one agent running on my laptop, and then I have a Mac Mini which is available over network. So I can switch it, save it, and then suddenly I'm now using a different agent and configuring also it separately. So that's why this is a pretty cool configuration. Then you have modular instructions. So this is important because typically you don't know, like with other agents, what exactly is getting sent to LLM, and so it's very hard to like tune it and understand can you like what affects the behavior and so on. So modularity here means that you can enable, disable certain parts, you can move them around, you can remove them, and this is the file path. So basically it's just a file that I can go to, and I think it was somewhere here under identity, and you can read what exactly this agent is described as and what it can and cannot do. So that's the identity file, and already you can see that there is a built-in file explorer. Now going back here, you can have not just file references, but you can have plain text here. So I'm saying that yeah, you should use specific tools for planning. You should use audio and notification tools, and then separately you have also this project specific agents MD override. So this means that it's not like hard-coded that this is the only thing, but it actually is more dynamic and depends on the projects I have here. Then we have a set of non-deletable things, but you can disable them. So for example, built-in tools, I go to a separate section, and here you can see the built-in tools. So these are essential for agent to do any meaningful work. So like accessing file system and accessing multimedia. So agent can, convert text to audio and audio to text. It can take screenshots. It can use a photo tool, so it can basically take a photo of me. It can navigate and use a browser, so Chrome. It can fetch things over network. It can execute, any command. It can like organize itself to have task progress for better awareness for itself and also for visualization. We'll see later how it works. It can notify you when things are done, so you get notifications here in the menu, and usually it can include audio playback. And then there is a MCP management built in, so if you ask an agent to install some MCP, it will do that. And then there are some other kind of external tools that are also available, like you can use Brave Search, you can use ElevenLabs, Exa, and Telegram. So these are kind of the tools that I needed the most. So I wanted to search the internet and do some deep research, and convert audio, and also use Telegram. So Telegram is important because I'm using my phone quite often, and we can try to test it. So let's see what is the agent for. It's about chatting. So I can just write a message in a specific Telegram group where I have my bot as let me see, as a I got a notification. So you can see that it is the agent received this message from Telegram. It wrote an answer. Then it wrote that, hey, I moved this kind of discussion to a separate topic, which you can see here. And now I can see the thread basically going on here. So that is the synchronization, and here you can see that it is an admin, so it can manage these topics, and it is in sync with sessions here. So if I open knowledge base, I can see that there are these sessions, and that's the basic chat interface. I can use in this session, in this interface, I can use audio as well. What is the weather in Tallinn? I likely won't be able to fetch it. Okay, it thought that I'm asking about Thailand, but you can see that this built-in sound to text conversion is part of the agent. It was not using any external models. It has it kind of built in. Now it seems to try to use this skill weather, but it couldn't find it apparently, and it failed. And you can see that the thread here also was updated. So that is the basic kind of synchronization with Telegram. I like it that you have a clean like big picture in general chat, and then you have specific threads which are in sync. So you can start also in the in Caesar those threads here, and then they will be also synchronized. What I also like is this is like a task management in a way, that you can set some tasks that maybe you don't want to execute right away, but you can schedule them, or like you can pause them, organize, or better yet, check my to-do markdown file and tell me if I need to do something from that, the highest priority. Yeah, and here I have a pause button. Sorry, pause button. So if I press that, you can see that it doesn't start, but it is scheduled. So I like this to organize myself. Where I have an idea, I want to start to work on that at some point, but I don't want to overload the LLM, and I want to work with one thing at a time. So I can add some tasks here, and then I can play them later. So one of the like advanced features here is that it can code, it can call those tools in parallel. So it's pretty neat that it can like write tests and write code at the same time, for example. It has various things like task management, I said. Well, I'll show maybe how it looks like. Can you create subtasks and have some of them completed? I just want to see how it looks like. So it uses this tool to generate subtasks. Okay, I got some Gemini error. But here on top, you can see that there are these, this is like an example of what you would see in a real scenario where you work on some long task and you want to see progress. The agent would just use these use these subtasks to just plan the work and self-organize. So I used to use files for this, but this way it's much cleaner that you don't need to get rid of them later on. And if you really want to generate some result file, you can always ask about for it. Anyway, let's go through menu sections. So here you can see the notifications. Sometimes you can get an audio if agent feels like it, because the tools are chainable. So for example, you can have usually this Piper TTS, which generates audio from text. So agent just says, okay, now I'm done. And the result from this audio is piped into alert, this notification tool. So that's kind of cool that now they're like in Unix, you have small operations which you can pipe together, and this way it makes it so flexible that now theoretically I can take, for example, audio from Telegram and convert it to text, which I plan to do. Okay, notifications. Then there is the source code. The source code of the agent is meant so that you could modify the agent itself. So I tend to do that a lot. If I want to move things around, I can do that, and I just prompt the agent from here. And this specific prompt is context aware, that it is in like working in these folders. We already saw settings. There are also other things like amount of retries per provider. There is a context compaction. So if we reach the limit, the session would get compacted and you could continue work. And then there are some env variables which are not that important. Then there is this pretty cool logic for how you can organize your providers. So you can see that I got some like OpenAI, Gemini, Claude. They all are configured, but and they use API token or they use OAuth. But then I can chain them together in some logical format that I like for coding or for images, or maybe some free models that I want to use. So I have these like fallback chains that if one model fails, then it will switch over to another model, and that kind of increases reliability. And then on top, I have the automatic router, which can be used also. And it's pretty much a free-form text where you define like the use case and the target model or fallback chain. So for me, I'm usually going into medium thinking or like medium chain, but if I see that the prompt includes coding, then it will go to coding chain. So coding chain is defined here, medium chain, and so on. And this works so that the initial message is basically sent to the model that I define. So I define that this model will evaluate the input session task, and then based on that it will assign to a correct chain. So that model in my case was router, and you can see that for me router is over here. I'm using OpenRouter GPT OSS 20B, and if that fails, I'm falling back to my local LM Studio. These are relatively lightweight models, so they only decide to which larger models or image models the request should be routed. So this is a pretty neat way to automatically switch between models. I believe OpenRouter also has some logic like that, but I like to control it so that I don't even depend on OpenRouter that much. All right, integrations. So you can have a integration button here, and you can try to pick some of the existing integrations and configure them. But yeah, mostly it's about setting the API tokens, and then you're off. MCP also kind of, we're supporting only local MCP servers because of security, and I don't particularly like MCPs that much because they add a lot of extra boilerplate. So, like for every MCP server, you can see evaluation of how many tokens it uses, and they typically use a lot. So I try not to use MCPs that much, but yeah, you can add those. Then there are skills, which are just text markdown files, and yeah, you can go and read them under the folder that you've configured. I don't know, there is, for example, this summarize skill, and you can install these skills because they are standardized. We're using ClawHub, so you can search for, I don't know, Google, and try to like automatically install them, and then hope that it works, because it's just Markdown, which describes that, for example, for the weather that did not work for me, there is the skill weather MD file, which says, okay, you should try making a curl request or curl request here, but it doesn't guarantee that the agent will understand it. It heavily depends on the model quality. How much does it go into these edge cases and still continuing to fight the failure. All right, I think I showed tools. There are recurring jobs, which basically are cron jobs. You just define the title, the name for it, then you use a natural language text here, like how frequently do you want this job to run, and then is it in some file path or is it in the text, and you just describe what it does, what is the LLM provider, or do you want to use like automatic router. Yeah, you create it, you have these jobs, and yeah, you can manage them, you can run individual ones. I don't know if I should. Yeah, so I pressed to run it now, and you can see that there are past executions. When exactly does it run? Which file is it associated with? And yeah, I think it failed to okay, the weather skill seems to have failed, but you can see the prompt, and I'll need to go through and fix these cases. Then there is a thinking special case. It is a recurring job, but it's more configurable or more specific. So I was using LM Studio for this. Yeah, it has instructions which are also taken, so it is inherited from the main settings, and then you add extra file for the thinking, so also configurable, so could be plain text. Yeah, and it adds the text here as well, and you enable it, and it will run periodically every I don't know, 60 minutes, every hour, or whatever you want. And it's a way for agent to be self-reflecting, analyzing your thoughts and so on. But I guess didn't go through the main focus of the agent. The agent is about you as a person. So the knowledge base is basically Obsidian Vault, which should help you to do self-reflection and planning, help with memory. So yeah, this is like a file system or like an explorer where you can write your thoughts, move the files around, and then query the Vault. So by default, when I talk to my Telegram, my use case is usually I have a thought and I just open the messenger. I write, like I dictate basically to the phone, and then it gets automatically synced into my thoughts folder. It is kind of private, so I wouldn't want to open and go through that. But yeah, I try to organize all of my life around the Vault, this knowledge base. And the agent just goes through those thoughts and improves, gives feedback, organizes them, links them together, that kind of stuff. So it is the main focus to help you by having someone else maybe smarter than you in some cases to give feedback and improve your life. Okay, I think that gave an overview of the agent. Here, yeah, you have same thing with like projects. So it is kind of one-on-one. With other things, like my projects are, very technical. I'm doing some coding here on some Mac app, or I have some microservices here, and I can also give tasks to work on them. And because they are running like in parallel, I can switch and think about myself and do self-reflection, do some high-level planning, research. Yeah, give it a try. I hope you like it and give feedback. Thanks.